Well, 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 this is somewhat strange. We have found a harbour tugboat. Now, I have ordered for the helmsman to plot an intercept course, but this is a tiny vessel. I'll show it in a second. I'll take a look at the here it is in the book. Let me just brighten it up. There we go. It's a harbour tugboat, as you can see. 52 meters length, 11 meters beam, draft 2.5 meters, mast 13. It's 420 tons, maximum speed of 9 knots, but it's currently travelling at 7 at a range of around 2.8 kilometers. Angle on bow 130. Not that it matters really, because we're going to surface and sink it with a with our flak gun. The thing is, though, it's tiny. We haven't spotted this thing. I mean, it is the middle of the night, but we haven't spotted this thing until it was well within what, like 3 kilometers, maybe? 2.5, something like that. I don't entirely remember when exactly we spotted it. I guess I was a bit back. So yeah, I think around 3 kilometers is when I've spotted it. That's dangerously close. Luckily, though, for us, it is, like I said, the middle of the night. So, let us simply surface the boat. Go to crew management. Keep an eye on the depth here, and prepare the crew in charge of doing things with flak weaponry. The boat is slowly surfacing, and here we go. Put people on the deck gun, man it, and our feet are still a little bit wet, but that's alright. Now, the real problem is I can barely see it even now, which I think can be helped with one of these. Yes. Yes, it can. So let's load HE. And check once again the distance between us. Is 2.6, 2.7. Okay. Deck gun. Let's start at there, let's say, and fire. Ooh, we overshot it by quite a bit. Okay, let's go with 2.5 then. See if that's any better. Now that looks like a good hit on the waterline, and we're going to keep firing like that. Yeah. Yep, and there we go. That did it. Oh, truly, truly a strange, to say the least, encounter. It being such a small vessel and all, but a kill is a kill, and it only cost us 3 HE shells and 1 signal shell, which, or a flare or whatever you call it. It's basically nothing. It's free, effectively. The only price we paid is, well, there is a potential that someone sees this, right? But it's the middle of the night. There is no way in hell there's any aircraft above that are going to be able to spot this, or any ships nearby that are going to be able to respond to this. It's just not going to happen. But yeah, like 2 HE shells just rip the bloody thing apart, as you can see. And it is going beneath the waves. Oh yes. Do I feel bad about it? Ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. I mean, I've downed a tugboat. Yay. That's, you know. It's 420 tons, though. I mean, look at this thing. It's 420 tons. It's not nothing. It's not like 5, 6, 10,000 tons that you can sink from, like, huge cargo ships or something, but it's also not nothing, you know. There's value in sinking even the smallest vessels like that, disturbing the enemy's infrastructure and all that nonsense. Anyways, though, I have completed, or pardon, we have completed both of our primary objectives. We have patrolled grid AN18 for 24 hours, and currently... Oh, would you look at that? Currently, we are living in a target-rich environment, from what I can tell. There is a new contact. A medium-speed ship traveling southwest. It was there at 2350. Now, there's a good chance that this is a merchant ship. Absolutely. But there is also a good chance that this is actually the destroyer that was sort of lurking around this area. As you can see, it did a tremendous job of stopping us from raiding, what with us sinking 5 different vessels and all. Mind you, 2 of them were really, really tiny, so I don't really count those as war losses for the Royal Navy. It's more just a slight inconvenience. That said, though, this could be our next target. Enemy task force spotted. Grid BF25. Yeah, these are all in the canal down here, and I'm not interested in these. Raiding the canal, by the way, is ridiculously dangerous, but also very profitable. Not profitable, very, It's a target-rich environment, right? But this is not our mission. This might become our mission once the Kriegsmarine realizes how valuable of a crew and how effective of a U-boat we are, or they might choose to send us elsewhere in order to just keep us alive. Longer that falls to Donitz himself, I suppose, in many ways. But for now, let's plot a course to intercept this this merchant over here, because we will have taken out 2 ships, well, 1.5 if we're honest, in a very short time frame. So yeah, I think this is a good intercept course, like there-ish, I think is good. So let's do that. Should be able to see it. However, worth mentioning that our visibility is about that much with ideal conditions currently. And that is because... yeah. I mean, we do have the moon shining bright above us, but that's not going to help all that much, honestly. That is not going to help all that much. Visibility is tragically bad, though it does provide us with the advantage of stealth. A significant advantage of stealth. I mean, U-boats as a whole, even in ideal visibility conditions, are hard to spot and tricky. Very low to the water, very easy, like, especially like if you have the slightest waves, a U-boat is a nightmare to spot at any sort of sensible range or distance. That said, though, ooh, this is a quick ship, isn't it? Or is it another, or is it a different one? It is a different ship, I think. No, it might not be. It might actually not be. With no way of knowing. Okay, let's go ahead full. We have plenty of fuel to spare, as you can see. Let's go ahead full and try and catch this thing. It's not a good... I mean, that's not great. It was there at 320. I'm thinking it might be better, given the fact that we know where it's going, to go alongside it, like this, and then cut in on it. Because I think it's clearly heading over here. And yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I mean, we are going at 15 knots. I doubt it's going to go much faster than 15 knots. So we should definitely be much faster than it, and we do have ideal conditions for the next few hours to do this. To, like, travel alongside it and then try and create something. Kind of expect it to be somewhere around here when we turn, but we shall see, I suppose. What is the condition of my weaponry? Okay, so we do have a tube in the external reserves. Let's transfer that over into the 4 reserves. And hello! Okay, we need to make a decision here. There is a small convoy heading this way. Okay, here's my idea. We're going to cut like this. If we don't see the merchant vessel from here, it means it's either further back or it's past us. Either way, we're going to cut there and go this way and try and intercept the convoy. The approach angle is going to be horrible, but it is a small convoy and it's traveling slow. We have plenty of time to reach it before it gets closer inland. There is also another convoy here, but it's neutral vessels, so I'm not entirely worried about it. I kind of want to dive at this point.
Yes, sir.
Let's dive very quickly. And the reason being, I want to get over on sonar.
Contact. Merchant. Moving away. Bearing 3-8. Long range.
That's what I was talking about. Okay. So that's where it is. Surface the boat. The friggin' thing is quick. This is the problem. Oh, but it has changed course ever so slightly. It was actually not bad. This is actually not that bad. It is a ferry ship. Distance 10 kilometers, 9.5. Let's go on the attack periscope. Raise it. Visibility is improved, which is neither good nor bad. I'm guessing we've identified it based on the sound. Possibly. So a ferry ship going at 10 knots. This makes sense, considering that it evaded me successfully. So a ferry boat? No, this is a ferry ship. Okay. Victory cargo, transporter, trap merchant, small merchant, repair ship, parcel freighter, different merchant types, liberty cargo, Japanese freighters, not something I'm particularly likely to come across over here. Baltic Sea Steamer. This is a nice looking ship, just, you know, despite it being horribly outdated. Am I ever gonna find it? There's a large ferry ship, but no, that was a regular ferry ship. Ah, here it is, a ferry ship, okay. Draft 9 meters, 4.9 gross tons. Capable of traveling up to 15 knots. 150 meters length, mast 37, draft 9. Lock the ship, and honestly, let's go over to the attack map, because I kind of want to fire on the bloody thing. The angle's not great, but the angle isn't terrible either. Okay, let's go over to the navigation table. It's traveling how quickly again? We're going at 12. It's going at 10. We are closing on it. And it's not likely to see us just yet. That said, the angle isn't particularly improving, is it? It's 131 degrees. Honestly, I'm willing to fire on this. So, let's just check. I do want to get closer to it, though, kind of. 9.4 kilometers. Weapon status. Okay, we're still moving this from the external reserves to the fore reserves. This is going to take a while. But this will have to be a slow torpedo if we launch at ranges greater than 7.5, which is kind of what I don't want to do in many ways. I kind of really want to launch a medium-going torpedo, medium-speed torpedo. Now, we are currently traveling at 15 knots. It is traveling at 10, correct? Wrong. It is traveling at 10. Let's get closer to it. It shouldn't be able to see us just yet. Okay. What about now? 7.6. What if we start turning towards it right now? .5. Problem is, as soon as I launch the torpedo, its range is going to be 7.5, but the ship will keep moving away. Which means I need to launch it probably around 6 point something. Mind you, the closer I get, the more effective my launch is going to be. Now, I think this is close enough. We're just going to fire 2 slow torpedoes at it. Or 1 slow torpedo at it, I'm not sure. Let's go depth of 5. Flood to 1, magnetic, slow torpedo. And this is roughly where it's going to hit then. Alright, los. One eel in the water. And I don't want to use one more torpedo. I need to save them for the convoy, which is precisely what I'm going to do. And we're going to fire and forget and see how effective German torpedoes are at doing that. So, it has not spotted us yet. I partially want to go down to periscope depths just to make sure it doesn't spot me. But I don't think it's likely that it's going to do that. And that is an impact. Now, the depth of 4 rather than 3 should make a significant difference when it comes to actually flooding this thing.
Torpedo impact.
Yes. Because this is actually like 5 kilometers now. This is actually close enough to move over with this, and let's go and check it out. There she is. Oh, that is a lot of cargo you're carrying. Nothing there. And nothing there. What do you carry inside, I wonder? No, never mind that. Whatever it is, this is a problem, as you can see. It's entirely submerged, which means water is now flooding this ship extremely quickly. It will try and dodge, but honestly, looking at the damage, I don't think this can be repaired. I think it's going to take a while to sink. It's going to take a while for it to take on enough water. Is it actually tilting? It doesn't look the most stable, but okay, maybe it's just because it's turning. This looks like serious damage, right? I mean, this looks like a giant hole through the middle of the ship. And it just looks like something you're not getting out of, right? No matter how much turning you do. That said, though, we are traveling parallel to it. How far away is it exactly? 5.4. Okay. We can deviate off course slightly, and the reason I'm going to do this is going to become apparent soon. I want to get closer to the ferry ship. It's actually turning towards me. I don't think it's spotted me yet. I think it's spotted me now. Or maybe not even yet. Okay, the reason I'm doing this is I want to get closer to the vessel. And then, unsurprisingly, get on the deck gun. So I think we've called it around 4.5. I'm going to try 4. Explosives. Fire. I think we overshot it, honestly. Let's try, like, 3. Just a tiny bit short. 3,500, maybe? I think this will hit a bit too high. I want to aim for the waterline. Oh no, I think that's good, because we did see an explosion. But let's go 3.6 just in case. I think it exploded beneath the waterline. Yeah, that was definitely on deck. Though it did cause a fire, so I mean, really, I really want to put one more in just because it causes fires, and that's eye candy. It's cool to look at, right? Oh, that one actually came short. Okay. Interesting. That was good. Slower it by like 100 meters maybe, fire again. It was more like 50, but yeah. A little bit less, I think, because we're hitting slightly above the waterline, which is not what we want. That was more on deck, but yeah. That looked good. Try one more. Yep, that looked very good. Though it hit it at the exact same spot the torpedo did, so it might not be the best. It's turning towards us, so this will be a little bit tricky. Much better. .4, let's go. I kind of want to hit the back of the ship, honestly. So I think this is a good range. I want to hit the engines and try and stop it from moving. Not sure how possible that is. Doesn't need to be any more possible, because that thing is no longer in commission. Used a couple more, maybe, than we should have. Flak shells and everything, but we don't intend on sticking around for very long. We don't need to be super conservative with our ammunition. Let's mark it down and keep moving, because we now have a date with a small convoy. Somewhere in this region. And lo and behold.
Contact. Merchant. Moving away. Bearing. 2-8. Long range.
I knew that was going to happen because I just dove at periscope depth, and we had visual contact with them from the observation deck, actually. So that was kind of obvious. Let's find the front of the ship, or the front of the U-boat. And in doing so, we shall find the merchants we are looking for now. They are currently around 8 kilometers, maybe slightly over, in front of us. They are escorted by a warship. And there is only one thing worrying me currently. Do we have the external reserve? Yes. We did take the torpedo out of the external reserve and put it into the fore reserve. This is going to take all of our tubes. Most likely. Now, I don't want to fire just a spread of torpedoes and leave, even though that is probably a bit more historically accurate, especially when it comes to escorted convoys, because they're usually traveling relatively close one to another. You're gonna hit something, chances are, and you just fire off all your tubes and you start evasive maneuvers and leave. That said, though, I am curious about the sonar reports, because sound contact, warship, medium speed, closing, bearing 356. So, bearing 356, closing. There's also something else over here. This is great and also slightly terrifying. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to continue at periscope depth of around, what, 12 meters? Moving forward at standard speed, as you do. And we're going to go here. I don't think cavitating is a problem, but we're not doing that. We're just making gentle turns. And we're going to get awfully close to all 3 of these sound contacts. We are then going to launch 3 torpedoes, maybe more if necessary, but most likely 3 fast torpedoes. So once again, if we take a look at our torpedoes, at fast speed, they go at 44 knots, and their range is 6 kilometers. This is perfectly acceptable. This is perfectly acceptable. The reason we're launching fast torpedoes is we don't want to alert these ships to eels in the water, right? I love that saying now, that phrase, slang, if you will. We don't want to alert them to our torpedoes, obviously. Now, for some reason, we can't actually lock onto these or see them quite yet with the attack periscope, but I can. So, let's see, what is this? Well, it's 2 types of vessel. The one at the back and the one at the front are the same, and then the one in the middle I'm not sure, but I want to take a look at this one. So, what does it look like? Fast passenger? No. Quitania. No. Small tender. It's definitely not small. It's definitely nothing small. Icebreaker Stetton. Harbour launcher. No. None of these. Coastal tanker. Nope, that is not a coastal tanker. I am thinking, though, it's probably something coastal. Medium freighter, no. 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 Ah, chemical goods freighter. Did I not just look past that and went no? I think I did. Or it might have been on the previous one. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. So, C, Belize, wait. Cargo, catapult, coal, coastal. Why is it not there? I mean, it's chemicals, goods, freighter. It should be on the sea. This should be all in alphabetical order to make it easier to find. Or in some order, because this I don't quite see the order here. Because it's like 50% alphabetical and then it's not. Maybe because it's in the wrong segment of the thing, but I don't think so. I think this is the place for chemical goods freighters, right? Yeah, here it is. Chemical goods freighter. Draft 7.3, speed 12 knots, 1.8 tons. A single torpedo will do just nicely. This is a coastal tanker. Okay. Thankfully they're close to one another, so this one is 1.2 knots. Honestly, I think it's very simple what we do. I think it is very, very simple. We turn slightly to the left, and we continue on present course. Maybe we speed up a little bit. And stop. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to make sure we get successful launches on every single one of these, and that they are very close by when we do it. So, fast torpedo, magnetic, flood tube 1. Magnetic, fast, flood tube 2. Magnetic, fast, flood tube 3. Now I think if I switch back over to 1, I need to flood it again. I think, I don't know, so let me check. Yeah, I need to open them manually. Thankfully they open really quickly. I thought I could just like flood the tubes and then launch in quick succession, but not the case. Never mind. I think 3 meters is going to do just fine. They're not particularly deep in the water. The draft isn't particularly that great. So, loss, and then very quickly oh, it remembers. Alright. Loss. Loss. 3 in the water in rapid succession. This will be a sight to behold. The only thing I'm ever so slightly worried about is that warship, which is pretty much the sole reason I'm not... pretty much the sole reason I'm not doing this any differently. Because I am thinking about just surfacing, using the deck gun to eliminate these, because they are unarmed. However, there is a warship close by. And I get the feeling that if I try and slug it out with the deck gun against these, it's going to take ages. And there's 3 vessels, it's going to take up a lot of ammo, it's going to take up a lot of time. Also, I don't want to stick around here forever and redivert all the aircraft from up here into AN-01. Mainly because there's more targets here. This area is poorly protected. There is another merchant vessel heading towards 5th of 4th, whatever the hell that is. It's a horrible name, but there is another merchant vessel heading over there. It's all close to the warship, but not close enough. So as a result, this is what we have. Now, I'm fairly confident that these are all going to hit. And as a result, I'm going to maneuver immediately to try and intercept this merchant vessel, which is going to be in pretty shallow waters, and fairly, you know, fairly close to the coastal waters of the United Kingdom, but honestly, that's nothing new for us, so yeah. Here we go. Are they dodging? They don't look like they're dodging. Mind you, these torpedoes look slightly off. They are moving quickly, but they look a little bit off. I mean, that looks like it's gonna miss? No? Maybe? Okay, let's look, let's keep the excitement. And look from over here. It did try and turn. That didn't help it. And then the second torpedo, and then hopefully the third one. Absolutely, and that rocked the boat so darn much that there is no way all of this cargo is ever getting recovered. That is 3 burning wrecks. There is also something else over here, and I kind of want to just cheat a little bit and find out what it is. That looks like a destroyer. I mean, I did know it's a warship, but eh. Alright, I did get its attention. Let's mark our kill, but I'm pretty sure that the rest of these are equally going down. Because, I mean, look at that. Does that look like a ship that's going to ever recover from... And they keep exploding. I think they're almost dead in the water. Plus, they are chemical goods freighters, so I doubt getting blown up by a torpedo is going to do wonders for the chemicals that they are transporting. It is dead in the water. It's now going at 2 knots. This one's still going at 5, but it is on fire. Yeah, that's another one down. Confirmed. Let's mark it. That is definitely one dead vessel, but we do have an armed trawler approaching. I thought it was a destroyer, honestly, at first. I didn't really get a look at it, plus... Okay, yes, I did. I knew it wasn't a destroyer, but I just wanted to see if it's a combat vessel or not. I thought it was a destroyer at first, but then I used external view to find out that it wasn't, but I don't want to use that information, right? But now we know that it's an armed trawler, so... Huh. Well, tell you what. That's not going to make much of a difference. This thing is still floating somehow. It is genuinely still floating. That is amazing. I am more than happy to follow it. I'm also slightly worried that this thing is going to see the periscope. So you know what? Slow the periscope. And continue on our way. We've done our job. I'm just going to go alongside this chemical goods freighter and... Oh? Depth charges? Unlikely, they have no idea where I am. I mean, okay, they have a rough idea of where I am, somewhere in this direction, but...
Yes, sir.
Not really. Alright, let's speed up. Let's go to 15 meters depth. 16, actually. And let's see how things are looking like on the surface. Pretty calm and steady. I mean, there is that aircraft up there, but it can't see anything. I think lowering the periscope may have saved my life. In all due honesty, there's a little bit of bubbles on the surface. I mean, there's not really any bubbles on the surface, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, I think this is it. I think this thing radioed for help because it panicked, and they dispatched an aircraft. Alternatively, the convoy is being monitored by aircraft on and off. But... yeah... we can actually see people up here. On the machine guns. Anti-air guns, I think? And obviously the main battery there. Or the main battery for the craft. Yeah, I mean, this isn't anything that like 2 or 3 flak shells with high explosive well placed here aren't going to just blow up. But there's no reason to risk anything, especially with aircraft up in the air. So let's just get out of here, though I do want to take one last look at this chemical goods freighter, and I'm sorry I can't. Yeah, alright. I do want to take one last look at this. It is burning heavily. I really have no idea how this thing is still moving. I mean... it took a hit relatively close to the engine compartment. I'm hoping that that's going to flood and just break everything inside. If not, I will have some issues. But I seriously... I mean, look at that. The engine is on fire from what I can see. And it's still moving. I mean, look at that. How is this thing moving? It really, really shouldn't be. But it's not stopping, and it's not putting out the fires either. Not only is it not stopping, it's dodging torpedoes. Look at that. Sorry, this is hilarious to me. The British resilience at times of just absolute hopelessness is something to behold, but, you know, if anything, they just make for slightly more amusing prey. That said, though, we are in no danger whatsoever, despite what the... well, I mean, we do need to stay on red alert, as shown, but, no, realistically, we are in no danger, so I'm just going to head down south towards, this other merchant ship over here. Oh, and I do need to take a look at our armament. We have 2 torpedoes left. Honestly, I think that's perfectly fine. I think that is perfectly fine. We sink this thing, and then we just leave. I genuinely think that is the best course of action here. I mean, obviously, we're going to try and sink this thing as well if it really refuses to go down. As soon as we get away from this, well, whatever the hell it is. But, as soon as we do that, I am making my way back to Kiel, and that should be it.